Over the last few years, millions of people online have latched onto the idea of quantum awakening, the promise that you can use your own consciousness to physically manifest reality. This massive internet trend has found its ultimate text in a 35-minute video presentation by Andre Smith, titled The Architecture of Ontological Unification, or AOU. I argue that the AOU is a legitimate trillium model. A trillium model is a theoretical framework that maps in exactly how the human mind interacts with the rules of quantum mechanics. And I argue that the AOU is a textbook example of quantum mysticism. That is, the practice of taking complex, rigorously tested physics terminology and pasting it over basic New Age spirituality. Today, we are putting the specific chapters of Smith's presentation on trial to see how these definitions survive when compared directly to the physical laws they claim to describe. If millions of viewers are substituting rigorous science with pseudoscientific allegories, it distorts how society collectively understands objective reality. Let's start with Smith's chapter on the quantum self. The core argument here is that human observation mathematically forces reality to manifest. According to the AOU, a person who taps into this quantum self can generate wealth, rapidly heal their physical body, and even alter past events. This animated diagram illustrates what actually happens in physics. It shows a quantum particle in superposition, which is a state where a particle exists in multiple possible positions simultaneously as a blurry wave. Notice how only when a mechanical sensor intersects its path, it forces that wave to collapse into a single solid point. This is the true observer effect. Look at the highlighted mechanical sensor next to the crossed-out eye. In foundational physics, an observer is strictly a measurement device interacting with a particle. It requires absolutely zero conscious human awareness. The AOU completely misinterprets a mechanical measurement effect as a conscious superpower. It turns subatomic math into a spiritual allegory. Confusing a microscopic physics anomaly with macro-level human willpower creates a highly compelling personal narrative, but as objective science, it fails completely. The presentation moves to the master relativistic metric of subjective time. Smith argues that time is entirely subjective and perfectly malleable by human consciousness. Look at this diagram mapping actual Einsteinian relativity. This geometric grid represents space-time bending deeply underneath a massive sphere to show gravity, paired with a vector arrow calculating velocity. Relativity is a strict physical law dictated by mass and speed. It operates independently of the human mind. What Smith describes is biological time perception. The human brain encodes memory density based on experience. It clusters new memories tightly together or stretches them out, which creates the illusion that time is moving fast or slow. The AOU takes how time feels biologically to a human being and conflates it with how time functions astrophysically in the vacuum of space. For a person living their daily life, the psychological feeling of time is their absolute reality. The astrophysics are entirely secondary to their lived experience. The master relativistic metric is completely void of scientific validity, yet it serves as a highly accurate description of the biological human experience of a subjective timeline. This brings us to the final concept of the source material, generative ontology. Ontology is the philosophical study of being, and here it refers to how an individual's personal reality is generated. I have to concede the core argument here. If we stop judging the AOU as a peer-reviewed physics paper and instead evaluate it entirely as a psychological framework, it succeeds. Humans are meaning-making machines. We navigate chaotic, unpredictable lives, and we require complex internal frameworks to build a sense of control over that chaos. If the AOU helps an individual improve their subjective experience and awaken their personal agency, its lack of scientific rigor is irrelevant to its personal utility. An individual does not need to bend the literal mathematical laws of quantum physics to alter their own daily reality. The architecture of unification functions as a framework for personal agency. It provides a way for individuals to organize their lives, yielding results that do not require a mathematical equation to be effective.